What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. What are the strongest guns to run in the beginning? Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Expo and Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm very excited you guys are here. Today, we're going to be talking about what the strongest guns to run in the beginning are. Before we get into the video, I stream every single day on Twitch. I would love for you guys to come by the stream. We take some Sundays off, but most of the time, we're here early in the morning, grab caffeine, and come hang out. Other than that, if you guys get some value out of the video, make sure you guys smash the like button. It does go a long way for the channel. And you guys can always subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And you can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. So let's talk about what are the strongest guns to run and why. The very first thing you need to understand about what makes a gun strong is actually not the gun itself, it is the ammo. This is pretty much how it works. If you have a strong round, that is what's going to do the killing, even if your gun looks stupid. But if you have a very nice meta looking gun, but you're using piss poor ammo, then the guy is still going to just take your build anyway and put good ammo in it and use it himself. So what you want to do in the beginning, which is hard because Tarkov doesn't exactly tell you what rounds are good. You have to like watch streams and look up YouTube videos to figure it out. But once you do figure it out, you want to build your guns around the round. So you want to say, what are the best rounds I can get right now in the beginning, and then build guns that run those rounds. That is what is going to create the strongest guns. So with that being said, we are going to talk about 4 builds that run the strongest rounds in the beginning, in my opinion. In my opinion, there's also timestamps down below. So if you guys want to skip to one of the specific guns or one of the specific rounds, you can very quickly. So the 4 guns we're going to be talking about is the Mosin from Prepor 1, the AKM from Prepor 1, the RFB from Skier 2, and the UMP 45 from Peacekeeper 1 and 2. Almost forgot. And here we have all of the primary rounds we're going to be running in the beginning that you have access to, and a couple of runner-up ammo that we're going to talk about as well. This gun is more about the ammo and where you get the gun than it is the actual builds, but I'm going to show you each of the builds anyways in edit preset, so you could copy it if you would like to. And then I'm also going to direct you to where the builds are on the YouTube channel, okay? So the very first one is the Mosin. This one is the Mosin carbine, which shoots a 7.62 by 54 round, and it is extremely strong in the beginning. Also, if you guys, side note, if you're thinking about getting Kappa, I suggest this be the starting weapon for everybody, because I have another video called Leveling Up Your Sniper Skill. You have to have your sniper skill to a certain place before you can receive Kappa, and it takes a while to get there, especially if you never really run sniper. So being that it's strong, it's cheap, and you can utilize this as one of the best guns in the beginning, I recommend that everybody who wants Kappa start with the Mosin or a VPO and just run that in the beginning. So the reason why I'm also running the carbine, so you're gonna look right here, carbine, I'll probably say both. In Prepor 1, we have these Mosin combos right here. This one is a barter with the scope. We have the long one, the infantry, and then we have the carbine right here. The reason why I choose the carbine over the infantry is because it is smaller, so the ergo is a lot better. This one kind of feels like you're pulling up a boat. This one doesn't feel that way. So that's why I choose that one. I think they're about the same price, 34K and 35K. They're 1,000. This one's actually 1,000 cheaper. And so you're going to go ahead and grab that. And then we're going to be grabbing the LPS round, which is also from Prepor 1. And you can purchase that right here. Now, the LPS round is going to give us 81 flesh and 42 pen, so it's a very, very strong round in the beginning. The runner-up round you actually get from Prepor 2, and it's pretty much a tracer version of this round. Go to Prepor 2, and we're going to grab the T46M round. Now, this round is going to give us 82 flesh and 41 pen, so you're losing 1 pen, gaining 1 flesh. They're very, very close. They're pretty much the same round, except it's a tracer. So for those of you who want to see where your round is going, you can feel free to use this, and it's going to give you about the same damage and all that stuff as the LPS round. But if you don't want people to see where you're shooting from, and you don't need to see where you're shooting from, I would recommend running the LPS for your Mosin. The second gun, there's not a whole lot to talk about this. The iron sights, I'm going to show you guys all of them in the hideout so you can see, but the iron sights aren't bad. You get used to them. But this is pretty much how you're going to run it. And then we have the AKM. The AKM is choice number 2. And the reason why is because you can get it for pretty cheap. I have the full build on YouTube that I will have linked somewhere for you guys. And then other than that, the build that we're running right here, other than that, you're going to run PS. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Prepare. Okay, where do you get it? You're going to go to barters, and it's going to be right here. You get it for Tashanka. You can either go to interchange and fill up your backpack with food. You can loot them in a bunch of other food places on different maps. You can buy them from the flea market at about 7K is what I've been getting them for. So the gun ends up being 21K, which isn't bad at all. The full build ends up being under 70K, which is pretty nice. And then for the round, you're going to be running PS, which is going to be from Prepare 1 as well. You can buy unlimited amount, which is why I recommend this as the primary round in the beginning. And this is going to be 57 flesh and 32 pen, which is pretty decent. You can actually use this all the way up into mid-wipe and be pretty fine until you get BP. The other runner-up round that I was going to show is going to be the T45, which you actually get Prepare 2. So Prepare 1 and 2 are kind of the go-to for both of those rounds. We have the T45M round right here, and the other one was what, the T46? Yeah, the T46M. So this one is also a tracer round. This one is 62 flesh, 30 pen. So it's still a good round. It's very, very close to the PS round, just like we had with the LPS and the T46 round. The thing about this though, is it might be a little bit better to use for those of you who are just starting and you're using budget builds, because budget builds tend to have higher vertical recoil. They're harder to control. This gives you, this round right here, gives you -6 on the vertical recoil. That's actually a pretty big deal. So it might be more beneficial for you guys to run this at the beginning. You don't get this till Prepare 1, so run this, or Prepare 2, so run this until you get it if you would like to. You unfortunately can only get 400 of this round per reset. The next one we're going to talk about is one of the strongest guns. People use it for rogue farming and a bunch of different reasons. I pretty much only have one problem with it, but it's the RFB. The RFB is extremely strong. The RFB you get from Skier 2, okay? We're going to go to Skier. We're going to go to Skier 2, and it's going to be right here is what we're going to do. It makes it really easy because you can literally just slap on a foregrip, slap on a sight, and then you can also get from Skier 1, you're going to grab this little thread spacer, and you're going to use this so that you can put either a suppressor on it or you can put on a muzzle brake. I am actually running it loud. There is a gang of suppressors you can run, but I am actually going to go to Mechanic 2. And in my opinion, this is one of the best muzzle brakes you can grab early on. And this is going to be the AR-10 2A armament. And this is going to give you -9% vertical recoil and -1 in the ergonomics. Foregrip that we're going to grab is actually from Skier as well. Go to Skier 2. We're going to go ahead and grab the Tango Down Stubby. And I run this on most of my budget builds until I get to Peacekeeper 3, which is level 23. And in that case, I would end up running something like right here, the RVG, which is one of the best foregrips in the game. If you're not running meta, you're pretty much going to run this. So the Tango Down is perfectly fine. It's going to look like this. You can put whatever sight you want on it. You cannot put a light or a laser, unfortunately. You can run that sight that has a laser on it, but I don't really like it, and I don't think it's that good. So I would just run it like this, and so it's going to be 52, 142, and I'll show you guys this in the hideout as well later. Now for the rounds, what you're going to do is you're going to want to wait until you get to Peacekeeper 2. You're going to get M80. M80 is going to be 80 flesh, 41 pen. This is a nasty round. People still are using it right now, 3 months into wipe. It's very close to M62, which is the tracer version of this round. M62 is a little bit better and does give you negative on the recoil, which also makes it better for automatic weapons like the MDR and SCAR, but the M80 is honestly a solid round. Now, the runner-up I want to talk about just because nobody talks about it and because you have access to it instantly. So from Jaeger 1, you actually have access to this round called the TCW. Now, you probably see this in scav guns and think to yourself, it's trash. You probably heard people say like, oh, just toss it. It's not good. And you probably shouldn't run under M80. In the beginning, this is a great round and you have access to it, and it's stronger than something like PS that you would be running or some of the other rounds in the beginning. So this is going to be 60 flesh and 36 pen. So you are literally penning people's troopers and jacking them up in the beginning. So it's very, very good. You can run this for pretty cheap as well, a little bit over 100 rubles, and that is going to be from Jaeger 1. But ultimately, I would say if you can, run as much M80 in the beginning as you possibly can. So the last gun that we're going to talk about. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have a build out for this soon. Make sure you guys check the Discord for tons and tons of builds that are already in there. Even before I put them on YouTube, they're sitting in the Discord. So the last one we're going to talk about, which we also just did a video on, that I will also make sure that I link, and that is the UMP. The UMP has definitely started shining this swipe. It literally went from 0 last swipe being one of the worst guns in the game to being one of the best this swipe, and that's because of the vertical and horizontal recoil changes. Lower RPM guns are just really easy to control, so you can beam people decently far. And FMJ isn't an absolutely terrible round. You have access to this right in the beginning. What we're going to do is we're going to grab the UMP two ways. You can go to Peacekeeper level 1 and you can literally barter for it for knives. You barter for it for 7 black knives, kind of like the MP5 is with the brown knives. Black knives get you a UMP 45. Or you could buy it from Peacekeeper 2. It honestly ends up being right around the same price. Or you can buy it for 215 USD from level 2. Now, when you get this gun, it's very similar to the other guns, as we're going to literally put a Tango Down stubby on it, like I just talked about, and we're going to be putting a NC Star laser. So from Skier 1 and Skier 2, we are going to be grabbing these two pieces and putting it on there. It's very inexpensive. We're going to be grabbing your favorite sight, whatever that looks like. I'm using the Hollow. And then on top of that, you can grab the suppressor from Peacekeeper 2 if you do want it to be suppressed. If not, you can run it loud and save some money. If you don't want to save money, you have a little bit of extra, it'll be extremely quiet with this, and you're going to knock down another negative 11% on the vertical recoil. So I typically run it suppressed, but there's every so often where I run it loud. So this is the build right here. We're looking at 41, 43. And for the round, you're actually going to go to Peacekeeper. We're going to go to Peacekeeper 1, and match FMJ is only 1 USD a round. This round is 76 flesh, 25 pen. It's a very decent round. It's going to jack up people with face shields. Now, you're going to obviously have trouble when you're trying to thorax somebody with really good armor, but when it comes to shooting people in the face, especially with this gun, it's really easy. You literally, wherever you aim, the bullets go. So this will mess up face shields and anybody who's not wearing a face shield. Where you're going to struggle is if people are wearing Altons or wrists, but in that aspect, you should probably be trying to either rotate often or get out of there anyways, because most of the people who are running Alton or wrists are also running good armor, which means this isn't going to go well for legging people. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I'm sure you can after a couple rotations, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. And you always pair the really good armor with really good guns, really good ammo. So between all of that combined, if you see somebody that's absolutely juiced, maybe stay away from them until you can run AP ammo. The AP ammo can start penning at like 38, so it's a little bit better, especially for helmets. But in the beginning, this works extremely well. And I noticed that this swipe versus last swipe, a lot less people, at least in my encounters, are wearing face shields, which means they could be juiced out of their minds and have nothing covering their face, and you hit them with some of this FMJ, which is really cheap. You're going to be solid. They're going to drop. So now we know how to get the guns. We know about the ammo that we should be possibly running. We know about the runner-up ammo. Now let's show you what they look like in edit preset, just in case you guys want to build these exact builds without watching any other videos. This is literally just the way it is. We have this AKM, a video on YouTube for it, if you guys want to check this out. Then we have the RFB. Bada bing, bada boom. Then we have the UMP. And one by one, we're going to take these into the hideout and see how they shoot. Here we have the Mosin. See, the iron sights aren't that bad. You get comfortable with it, promise. It's much better than the big one. That's the Mosin. Here we have the AK. You can tap it if you need to. This is the Ergo. This is the gun shooting. Has a little bit of kick to it, but you can definitely control it. Here's the RFB. Here's the ergo for it. Like I said, no laser, sadly. Now we have the UMP. There we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this thing is, every time I use this thing, it just shakes me to the core. And that's the UMP. That's gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and watching another video. If you guys got some value out of today's video, make sure you guys smash the like button. It does go a long way for the channel. And if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. You can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. I would love for you guys to come by the stream. We're there every single morning, bright and early. Grab caffeine, and I will see you there. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. And what builds do you guys want to see next? What videos do you guys want to see next? Do you guys want to see more on the loot guides, more on the PvP? Let me know down in the comments. That is usually where I pull from for the next videos to hopefully bring you guys the most amount of value. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. Don't go anywhere. There's some other videos over here if you want to check out. Other than that, I will catch you guys on the next one. Happy raids, my friend.